the Unscripted Company podcast, coming to you live on Rumble. If you don't usually hang with us on the live stream, definitely recommend you do so. If you're listening to this over on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, come hang out with us live every Sunday night around 8:15 Central Standard or Daylight Time. I don't know. I guess we'll find out what happens with Daylight Savings Time, because I think we're in Standard Time now, not Daylight Time. But I forget. Like,
I don't know.
We're going to be falling back here soon in October, I think, unless something changes.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Big news this week for those who are even remotely aware of the entertainment world. I know in the thumbnail of this video, I had the number 78 for episode 78, dressed up a little bit like the Hulkster, Hulk Hogan, passed this past week. But also, I didn't even think about this until I had already made the thumbnail.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne as well. We lost him this past week.
Yep.
And then I know a lot of people were also talking about, and I feel bad, I've gone blank on the name, but the actor that played the child in the Cosby Show, right? He also passed.
Oh yeah. I can't remember his name, but I remember him from the Resident, because that used to be one of my shows until they canceled it. They ruined it.
Yikes.
But yeah, he passed away, and they always say things like this happen in threes. They really do, and I think they happened like the same week, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I'm pretty sure it was like one day, one the next day, and literally one right after that. So it was very unexpected, man.
Yeah.
Very unexpected.
And then one kind of flew under the radar, but for some reason, I know him from King of the Hill. Chuck Mangione. Do you know who Chuck Mangione is? It's like the trumpet player. I saw he passed as well, apparently. I only know him from King of the Hill, if I'm being honest with you. But it's been a week. It's always been a week, man.
It always. I'm telling you, man. We need to get that on our website and our merch store. It says it's been a week. On a shirt.
I need a shirt, because, like, honestly, I love these hoodies. I love that we wear them every time, but sometimes it gets hot, right? And like, I'm like, I want to wear a shirt, but then also, like, I want to be branded, right? I'll
be honest, like, it stays cool in here. I have AC's blowing right on me, and
yeah,
I'm chilling, man. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good with the hoodie.
No, yeah. So there's days where I'm like, I almost wish I had like a shirt. And I could have one that says it's been a week.
It's been a week.
A little Unscripted Company in there.
Yep.
The week been weekend from Daddy Streaming. Very poetic.
Yep.
Factually correct. Riley, how's your week been, man?
It's been good. I mean, I know we just got done chatting, but it's been it has been a week, but it's been a good week. So everyone who's watched this knows that I do real estate. Real estate is still my career. Real estate is still my passion. I've always kind of like dipped into like other different things, from time to time. Obviously, the podcast being one, and I've been kind of working on my graphic design skills on the side, just different things like that. Not to build a career, but just like, hey, you want a logo done? Cool. I'll charge you this fee. I'll do your logo. You can go get it printed off somewhere, whatever it is that you want to do with it. But times are tough in real estate right now. I'm still producing, I'm still selling stuff, but it's not at the pace that I would like it to be. So to counteract that, I recently got, I'm trying to, man. I'm out here. I got a job. I got a full-time job, but it's a very, very, very flexible job. Like, it's full-time, but I don't have to work full-time. Yeah. So funny enough, I'll talk about that here in just a second. But so I live in Denton County, live in Denton, Texas, and there's a place called Signorama, which they do custom signs, all your branding needs, essentially business cards, signs, tapestries, everything that you could ever want to be done, they do it there. And I needed a job just to kind of help supplement, pay some income. Again, times are tough, kind of going through a lot of, some personal stuff right now. So I just kind of needed something to supplement some income. So I got a full-time job at Signorama. It is temporary. I'm still looking for something a little bit more remote, but right now, hey, you got to do what you got to do to keep the lights on and keep the bills paid. So I'm not ashamed to say that as a licensed real estate agent, I did get a job, and I'm still going to be doing real estate on the side. So if you are still looking in the DFW area, North Texas area, feel free to reach out and contact me. Like, if you comment on one of the videos and we happen to see it, or TikTok or whatever, just reach out, and I'd be happy to chat with you about that. But funny enough, though, on the landscaping thing, so a bunch of us guys, instead of paying a landscaping company, we all went up to our church yesterday and we did the landscaping ourselves.
Yeah. What does this mean? What kind of landscaping are we talking about? Are we doing like just like sod work, or
no, it was like tree trimming,
okay,
bush trimmings, eventually laying down sod, replanting new plants. Yeah, it was like the whole 9 yards. And it was just a bunch of us guys. And
big property, small property. What are we talking about?
I mean, it's a decent sized property, but we
like
only did
bigger than a residential lawn.
Yes.
Okay.
Like way bigger than, like, you have a small parking lot, and we did all the trees aligned that parking lot. And mowed, like, one of the guys, he handled the mowing of the grass and everything. And there's going to technically be a part 2 because there was some stuff that we didn't get to do because it got too hot. But but it was funny because so our church is named Charisma City, and I walked out the door because a few of us were chilling inside trying to get some air conditioning. I walked outside and I was like, "Hey, y'all, welcome to Charismatic Lawncare and Security, where we kill your weeds and protect your family." And it just rolled off, and everyone was like, "That actually sounds pretty good." Like,
well, you got a ring to it. I'm almost thinking like, kill your weeds and grow your faith. Something like, I don't know, but yeah, you're onto something there.
Yeah,
y'all need to create swag. That way, when you're out there doing it, representing.
Well, the thing is, though, is Daddy Streaming, one of the guys, he goes to our church, and he's trying to get a private security company started, and that's something I'm trying to get into as well.
Okay.
With him, and so we're working on some stuff with that, and at the end of the day, still got to keep chugging along. But yeah, what about you, man? How was your week?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I'm trying to think what actually happened this week. You
got back from your trip on Tuesday, right?
I did. No, that was last week. Didn't I? Yeah. Because it was like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. Because you have me second guessing. I'm like, what did I do this past week? It's I mean, outside of work, what did I do? See, this is a problem. What did I do? I did yard work this morning. I did my own version of landscaping. Did that today. What did I do yesterday? I asked you the question, and I'm like, what did I do? Yeah. Oh man, yesterday I swapped out the faucet in our kitchen. So that was an adventure. The actual like kitchen faucet itself, relatively simple to like swap out, but we have this little water spigot thing to the right of it, where we have like a water filtration thing under the sink. And man, that thing was a nightmare to replace because we bought a new one, and there is this like threaded rod, which is like the main mechanism that goes through the sink, right? So you have like a hole cut out in the sink, and the rod goes into there, but then also you screw in the water line to, I guess, like the female end of that rod as well. And that's what, so the one that came with the house had a pretty lengthy rod on there. Well, when we bought the new one, we didn't really think like, oh yeah, there's like different sizes of these, and like there's a standard size and then an extra long size. Long story short, the one we had was just a little too short. And so the next 4 hours after I figured that out was basically me understanding that why plumbers are paid what they're paid, first of all, because it is extremely difficult when you're underneath the sink and there's like water dripping on you, there's like dust down there, and like your back's getting torn up on the cabinetry and all that. And then you have to go to Lowe's, and then you have to go to Home Depot because Lowe's doesn't have what you have. And then you go to Home Depot, and then you come home and you find out, whoops, I got the wrong size. And then that was a whole day, dude. I thought it was going to be easy because I thought, if I was going to struggle with either this little water spigot or the big faucet, I thought I was going to struggle with the big faucet. Nah, big faucet, 15, 20 minutes, swap out. No issues at all. This little freaking spigot, man. So long story short, I put on the old one, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do. Because we've had these purchased since we got the house, and I'm just now got around to installing them. So we've kind of passed the point of return on returning the water spigot. They're not terribly expensive, but it's also like, do we have to buy another one?
Yeah, you don't know what you need until
Yeah. So that was yesterday. I I don't know what happened during my normal week. It just work. I'm very guilty of just like, yeah, I wake up, I work, and then I hang out with my wife in the evening and we make dinner and things like that. I don't think we did anything noteworthy
That's kind of
this past week.
my whole, like, I'd wake up, at 5, go to the gym, come
Yeah.
home, do my whatever other morning stuff I would do, get ready for the day, and go to work. And then, it depends on how busy the day is, which is another reason too why I got the job, because it does keep me busy and make a little bit extra money on the side, and keeps me busy in the times where I'm not doing anything real estate related, because it's not always like that. But yeah, no, I'm good at some handyman stuff. Like when it comes to like not plumbing and
Yeah.
things like that, and
Yeah.
electrical stuff, all that kind of stuff. Like I'm good at like general stuff. You can't do a whole lot when you live in an apartment, but at this point, I'm already not getting that deposit back anyway.
I will say once you do get that house, when that happens, you'll start to learn so many random things that you honestly just weren't even aware that you need to know. So, one thing I did, this was like, I guess 3 weeks ago. I don't think I ever told you this, and I'll send you a video. I'll text it to you once we hop off. I cut a hole in one of our doors to make it like a little cat door, like so they can crawl. Because in our like the master bathroom, we have like a linen closet in there, and it goes just deep enough that we can keep the cat food in there and whatnot. And the problem is the linen door butts up against like the main entry door for the bathroom, so they're always like hitting each other. But we had to keep the linen door open so that way the cats could get in there. So long story short, we can keep the door closed now, but I took a jigsaw and I just basically cut a giant square out of it so they can get in and out when they need to. So yeah. But like, when else in my life would I have ever thought to get a jigsaw and cut a hole in a door?
Like that's kind of like tools are like the one thing where I'm just like, I can't wait to buy more tools.
Yeah.
Like I have my drill and my hammer drill, and it's the combo kit for Milwaukee, but I have that combo set.
So you're a Milwaukee man. I notice how people stick to their brands, their kind, their breed.
So I have like two main people, maybe three, but two main people that I watch for like tool stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not really concerned with like a lot of the intricate tool stuff. Like, like
do you watch Tool Time with Tim the Toolman Taylor? You watch that?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Home Improvement. They actually brought that show back.
Wait, they did?
Yeah, they brought it back. He's got
they brought it back?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, he has a sitcom, but it's not.
Is it not Home Improvement?
No, was it Last Man Standing?
Is that what it's called? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it was a show that like it started on, was it ABC, and then ABC canceled it, and then I think like Fox picked it up or something, and then
I couldn't.
It got even more popular because of that, and then ABC brought it back or something.
No, so here's the thing. So out of the two tool people that I watch, here's the thing. I'm not like a snob when it comes to my tools. Yeah. In a sense, like it's just that there are some things that DeWalt can make that Milwaukee can't make, and there's some things that Makita. And here's the thing: they're all owned by, like, I think when you divide them down the middle, this one company makes like Milwaukee, Makita, Ryobi, and then this other company makes DeWalt and crap. What are the other ones? I can't remember what the other ones are. But then you have like the new one, like Flex and all that kind of stuff. Well, anyways, a lot of them are made by the same companies. And when it comes to certain tools, like, if it's Milwaukee, I have the drill set. I want to buy a circular saw that's Milwaukee, a router, because Milwaukee has a good battery-powered handheld router that's just amazing that I want. Because I want to try to get away with doing like all cordless tools, and especially the brushless, like, because those were like the brand new ones, and they were still brand new in the case. And the guy sold it to me for $300, and that's a $450, almost $500 set.
Yeah,
and he sold it to me for $300. And I was like, I'm not passing that opportunity up.
Yeah. So you're a Milwaukee man now.
Pretty much, yeah. And like I said, when it comes to like woodworking, like DeWalt's got like a good tabletop planer that's like amazing. And it's like
our neighbor, he's like our age, and him and his wife, and they have a kid, but he's a carpenter. Like he's a professional carpenter by trade. And I've noticed he's a DeWalt guy. He's got the DeWalt, literally all the lawn tools, the mower, the edger, the weed eater, literally everything. And then all of his carpentry stuff is DeWalt. He's got the table, like you mentioned, all the saws you can think about.
Yeah.
Literally anything that needs power going to it is a DeWalt.
Yeah, and like obviously prefer battery powered, and there are some even like off brand ones. Like Harbor Freight's got some good stuff. Like even though it's the Hercules and the Bauer brands, some of their tabletop stuff is actually pretty good. And so it's just finding the right ones, you know. And so like the two main guys that I watch, like they go in detail about like where you can find the best deals at this point in time, and you know, finding the right things, and obviously hitting up like around the holiday time, like Lowe's and Home Depot will run their tool sales every single year. So I'm banking on that this year. Like I need to get a good, I have a circular saw, but it's an older one. I'm like, I want to get a newer one. But yeah, like eventually I want to have a full shop. It doesn't have to be all Milwaukee, but either Milwaukee, Craftsman, or DeWalt are probably the three that I would probably, and depending on like, what are they called? It's not a circular. It's the big circular saw. The
like a table saw.
Well, not a table saw. The why am I blanking on what the name of it is?
Machete.
No. It's the one like knife. It's like you pull it down, like you pull the.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's not like no, it's not a
reciprocating saw, I think is what it's called. No, I don't know. Anyways, so there's just different brands for different things. Yeah. I digress. But Milwaukee is what I currently have now, and I think that's like the main tool set that I have as far as like that. But I've got like Walmart brand stuff too for certain things because it's just an apartment. It's not like I need anything major.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I think it might be time for the question of the week, brought to you by Applebee's, eating good in the neighborhood. Hit them up late night. Tell them Riley and JK from the Unscripted Company podcast sent you there. And hey, our good friends over at Applebee's will hook you up with those half-price appetizers. So, thanks to Applebee's for sponsoring this week's question of the week. Riley, what you got?
All right. So, this one, I kind of had to read this one a couple times, and I had a couple of them that I was choosing from, so I figured I'd go with this one. Would you rather remember everything, even the things your mind repressed to protect you, or forget everything and rebuild from zero?
Remember everything, no question.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, because like, I guess from my perspective, I love history. One thing that I guess I'm going to try to get better about doing is following my passion back into history, because that's what my college degree was in. Do I do anything professionally related to history? Absolutely not.
Right now.
Right now. But I think there is a benefit to being able to recall everything, especially if you could put you in some interesting situations in life if you're able to actually recall your entire memory, because then you could find a profession that's really good at that. Don't ask me to name what those professions are on the fly. I'm thinking crime scene detective maybe, or a professional puzzle solver, a job that has to do with like recalling information. That could definitely come in handy. Dare I say, literally become a historian. Every book you read, boom, you can instantly recall it. Imagine your brain becomes the Library of Alexandria, but like quite literally. What about you? Is this a loaded question at this point?
It's not a loaded question, but it's just like me right now. The second option, I'd rather forget everything and just restart from zero.
Well, put yourself in the position of, someone listening to this podcast live at an Applebee's, sitting in a booth, maybe in the back corner. It's a little dark because the sun's gone down, right? And they're currently asking their waiter or waitress about these half-price appetizers, right? And they got little butterflies in their stomach. They're excited. They're thinking, man, what kind of boneless wings am I getting? Am I getting the honey barbecue? Am I getting the mild? Am I getting whatever they're calling the Asian tangy flavor these days? What am I getting?
Sweet Asian chili sauce. I think.
Yeah, I have not. I always felt so silly when an Asian orders sweet Asian chili. I'm like, I never had the balls to do it, but I always wanted to just like look them square in the eye and be like, honey, you're my sweet Asian chili. And just like see what happens. But picture you're in that situation right now, right? I don't know how this is helping you answer the question, but I wanted to go down that road.
No, you're good. Realistically, like, That would actually be pretty interesting. Daddy Streaming said you forget everything, but you're reincarnated as a random person. Very interesting.
Turns out that random person's wanted for like a quadruple homicide.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, remembering everything. Now, here's the thing. So when you said like remember everything and like becoming the Library of Alexandria, I
Also,
don't know.
you'll remember the Titans.
Yes, I don't know if they're meaning remembering everything as in like you remember every single historical fact to the T, or if it's like you remember everything about yourself that happened in your history.
I feel like you'll remember everything you've ever experienced. Every book you read,
Uh-huh.
you'll remember it. Every life experience, you'll remember it. Every face who says, "Hey, my name is John Smith," you'll remember John Smith.
And his name is John Cena. Da, 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 da. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. His name is.
He's retiring this year, so rip. Yeah, I mean, honestly,
You know who
like,
else retired this year?
who?
Hulk Hogan.
Too soon. It's
Too
too
soon?
soon.
Too soon? Okay.
No, I mean, I would love to remember everything because that's a lot of knowledge, and that means like every single time you learn something new, you remember it.
Okay.
So it's like you never
Okay.
forget it. But the me
Yeah.
right now just kind of wants to forget about everything. It just doesn't want to deal with anything right now. Very, very long story. Not going to get into it on here, but yes.
Well, okay. I'll try to abbreviate the story that Riley's alluding to here. So 2 weekends ago, I went to Nashville to actually scout out some new potential Applebee's locations to partner with us. So Applebee's flew me up there, and I was able to have a night on the town, all thanks to Applebee's. Riley decided to take it on his own fruition to find a good location in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And he ended up really late night down in DeSoto at an Applebee's around like 1 o'clock in the morning. And let's just say your boy got a little rowdy. If you Google Riley Applebee's DeSoto and then maybe put July police crime report, you'll kind of put 2 and 2 together there.
Low key, if there is actually a Riley out there and that happens, I'm like, what?
All I'm saying is I didn't forget what happened. So
That's fair.
yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but
I have no idea.
Hey, you got a cattail.
Dude, yeah, this is the
Which cat is that? Is that Luna?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she's chilling. Yeah,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, I mean, like again, I'd probably do the same thing because like that means every single book that I have over here, everything I've ever read, I would retain it and remember it and never.
Wouldn't that be dope to be able to recall the information from everything you've ever read? It like internet, print media.
Isn't there a character in a show that can do that?
There are people that can do that. They have actual what is it called? There's a term for it, but like memory recall. They're able to like very specifically recall like to an extreme detail certain things. I'm not going to say they can recall quite literally everything. I guess the easiest way to explain it is like a photographic memory, you know, like you can see something and then a couple days later, weeks later, months later, you're able to like specifically pinpoint things.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Yeah. She's like, love me. I'm here. Pet me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll let you kick it off and and we'll get into it. Probably won't hit on everything, but we got some juicy stuff in here that we're gonna dive into.
Yes.
So.
I'll jump into Hulk Hogan here in a little bit. That one's kind of the obvious one. I think everyone's aware of it. But one thing that is actual breaking news this week that got my attention, I don't know if it got your attention or anyone out there in the chat, if it got your attention. Breaking news headline: possibly hostile alien threat detected in unknown interstellar object. A shocking new study finds. Now, this is from the New York Post. There's countless news stations out there talking about this. So it goes on to say, a mysterious intergalactic object could potentially be a hostile alien spacecraft that's slated to attack our planet this November, according to a controversial new study by a small group of scientists. The consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could potentially be dire for humanity. The researchers wrote in the inflammatory paper, which was published July 16th to the print server ARXIV. Don't ask me how to pronounce that. According to the Southwest News Service. So This thing, it's dubbed 3I or Atlas. The interstellar entity was discovered on July 1st this year, rocketing toward the sun at more than 130,000 miles per hour. Less than 24 hours later, it was confirmed to be an interstellar object, with initial observations suggesting that it could be a comet that measured up to 15 miles in diameter, larger than Manhattan. However, in the new paper, the trio of researchers suggested that it might be a piece of extraterrestrial spy technology in disguise. One of the researchers, Avi Loeb, I probably mispronounced that name, they're a prominent Harvard astrophysicist known for linking extraterrestrial objects to alien life, previously made waves after floating the theory that in 2017, an interstellar object, Oumuamua, I know I mispronounced that too, but I've seen it written in other places, could be an artificial recon probe sent by alien civilization based on its odd shape and acceleration. I don't know if you remember when that news came out. There was like literally an object that was in space that some people were claiming was like alien trash, alien debris. Who knows? This goes on to say, in this study, which he collaborated with Adam Hibbard and Adam Crowell of the Initiative for Interstellar Studies in London, he postulated that this object's trajectory suggests a similarly alien origin. The trio felt the object's speed, which was significantly faster than that other thing I was talking about, and the fact it entered our solar system from a different angle than its predecessors did, offers various benefits to an extraterrestrial intelligence, he wrote in a blog post. One benefit of this thing is that it will make close approaches to Jupiter, Mars, and Venus, which would allow aliens to stealthily plant spy gadgets there, he wrote. When the so-called undercover UFO reaches its closest to the sun in late November of this year, it will be concealed from Earth's view. Quote, this could be intentional to avoid detailed observations from Earth-based telescopes when the object is brightest or when gadgets are sent to Earth from that hidden vantage point, he said. Now, if this anomaly is a technological artifact, this could support the dark forest hypothesis, which argues we haven't found signs of extraterrestrial entities because they are remaining undercover to shield themselves from predators or prey. He also goes on to warn that this could suggest that an attack is likely and would, quote, possibly require defensive measures to be undertaken.
What defensive measures could we take that we...
Riley, we're sending you to the front line. This is your responsibility now. Now that you have this information, you and the energy that you gather from your local Applebee's will be on the front lines supporting Earth. Did you ever see Independence Day, the movie? Yeah, that's going to be you.
Well,
How do you feel?
At least there's going to be a part 2 because we're going to use their weapons and their technology to develop new stuff for us.
Yeah, and shout out to Daddy Streaming. He did put this in the chat before I had a minute to bring it up on the article. But he said, didn't they say that about the last weirdly shaped asteroid that passed through our solar system? Spot on. There was that thing, I'm going to mispronounce it. It's named after a Hawaiian something. I know I'm butchering the heck out of all this, but the Oumuamua, it was like basically like a space turd thing.
Yeah.
Turd's the best way to describe it, because if I go, let me pull this up real quick. This was a real thing that happened not too long ago.
So
obviously this isn't like a real photograph of it, but it is somewhat looked like this theoretically. We didn't know what it was. It came and then it went. Some people who claim that they know things legitimately say this was like a UFO. Not the Hollywood version that we think of, but like this was like legitimately aliens.
I mean, to be fair, again, I'm not trying to, when you look at Independence Day, and I'm not trying to like compare the two, but
it's a good documentary.
Their ship actually acted like an ecosystem. The mothership was an ecosystem. So if that is the case for that could be something similar. Like there is a pilot, there is someone that is actually directing this thing, but it could just be an ecosystem of whatever on there. Now, granted, take it with a grain of salt, but where it says nature does not produce such things, well, how the heck do you know what nature produces out in the middle of the void of space? Like, are you out there every day? No, you're not.
Well, is it nature if there's the absence of oxygen? Like, that's a legitimate question. I have no idea.
Life
Yeah.
form, because life can still exist without oxygen, because not every life form, if there are other life
Can
forms
it?
out
Isn't
there.
that one of the greatest questions? Like, can life exist without oxygen?
I mean, it is, but we kill
Riley's Landscaping and Astronomical Observation Services.
rock your world.
We kill your weeds and rock your world, baby.
Well, like, if there are other planets out there, because we've already, like,
There are
There-
other planets out there.
not
yes.
even just in our solar system, but like there's other
There
galaxies.
are. Yeah.
So it's like not every single one of them has an oxygen based system.
Yeah.
It's known as, and now here's the thing. Think about it like this. And I may confuse myself while trying to explain this, so bear with me. We have oxygen here. What they may have there is exactly like oxygen, but they call it something else. So whatever, like a lot of the same planetary things that we have here could still be the same over there. It's just completely different, but on different levels. So it's like if we tried to go there, we couldn't survive because we can't survive at the levels that those are there, but it's still the same thing, but it's just called something different.
No, that makes sense. I mean, I guess similar arguments to saying that, like, you can't survive in the ocean, right? Because you can't breathe in the ocean.
Right.
But there are things in the ocean that do survive off of oxygen in the ocean.
Good point. Good
Yeah.
point. So,
like, if you were to be submerged in a vat of honey barbecue sauce from Applebee's, you yourself could not survive. But Hefty Karen, the bar regular, absolutely could survive in a hefty vat of honey barbecue sauce.
Ugh.
Now get that image out of your mind.
Ugh.
Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us. Go to unscriptedcompany.com. Hit up your local Applebee's. Shout out to Karen, who's dying in a vat of honey barbecue sauce for Applebee's.
I mean, it's better than the buffalo sauce where it's just Frank's Red Hot and a boatload of butter.
Okay. Buffalo sauce was ruined for me the moment I realized that's literally all it is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's different variations of it, but for lack of a better definition, it's just Frank's Red Hot and butter.
That's why, like, every time, like, if I ever ordered buffalo wings from Applebee's, I would order them with not as much sauce, and then I would let them sit in the window to let that sauce kind of like not be like runny and thick, so to speak, but it'll kind of just like stick to the wing a little bit more.
The funny thing is, I don't think I've ever heard anyone in my entire life ever ask someone to be like, hey, can you leave my food in the window for just a little bit longer?
Well, because like there are times where I
get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying.
Because in a restaurant, it's like if you order food, you better eat it fast because not.
Well, it's also it's like a toss thing, right? It's not marinated in the sauce. Mm-hmm. It's like very quickly tossed in a plastic container by God knows who back there.
Victor.
Dude, I was gonna say it, but I was like, oh, okay, man.
He still works there.
Does he still work?
He still works there.
God, that guy. He
still works there, and I think he still works at KFC too. Like I'm pretty
sure he works at KFC.
He worked at both, so he would go to KFC in the mornings, and then he would come to Applebee's in the evenings on some nights. But yeah, like I think he still works there. God, I think there were a couple cooks that still work there that from when I was there.
We'll have to do on location at some point. Yeah, you could do it. If we just get like a Wi-Fi hotspot, we could live stream from an Applebee's booth.
Nobody there would even recognize, because like I don't know anyone there anymore. Yeah, like
that's the fun part. You go there anonymously; they'll never know.
Yeah, that is true.
You'll know exactly where you killed someone in the back corner, but they'll have no idea what actually happened.
Listen, I didn't kill anyone. Her boyfriend killed her when he gave her
narcotics.
Allegedly. When he gave her narcotics.
Allegedly.
Okay? I didn't kill anybody.
The funny thing was, I said that as a joke, forgetting that story for a brief moment, and you were the one that actually brought up the real story. So,
were you there that night?
I was, yeah. I was working cocktail that night.
That was my first night shift.
And it was like a Tuesday. Was it a Thursday?
And I thought I was going to get arrested and go to jail. Because I didn't do it. They didn't even finish the second round of drinks, man. They had one full round and barely even touched the second round, and she was dead. She was DED.
For the record, Riley is 100% innocent in this situation. But for the sake of the podcast, Riley, you should have gone to jail that night, dude. I'm kidding. I'm totally
I
kidding.
know. Yeah. Well, I
No,
was thinking for a second. Well, here's the thing. Here's
dude,
also,
I am joking. I'm just
I know.
giving you a hard time.
Here's also too what kind of legitimately frustrated me about that night was that Boston was there along with some of the other regulars, and they saw him giving her stuff, and they did
Let's,
not.
for the sake of the podcast, let's explain who Boston is for a second.
Okay.
In the simplest terms, and you correct me if I'm wrong on this. In the simplest terms, just boiling it down, Boston is, for lack of a better term, a character, right? He is a bigger guy who would always wear a baseball cap. And he was basically a regular that would show up to Applebee's almost any day of the week. Could be around open, which would be like, what, 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And he would literally sometimes stay there all the way to close, which would be roughly, he might dip out of there between midnight and 2 a.m. Closing
to go
time.
to freaking Rockin' Rodeo, is it?
Yeah.
I think? And then he would come back like right at closing.
He would go to a bar just, 2 or 3 blocks worth of walking distance down the road, and then he'd come right back. But then he would sometimes act as the unofficial bouncer of this Applebee's location. Like quite literally throwing people out of the building to the point where like door frames were broken.
Oh, dude, I remember that night too, because Shane was
Yeah.
like trying to stop it all, and we were trying. Me and Shane were trying to stop it, and Boston just wouldn't stop. And so he's got. I'll be honest, he's a lot better. I don't know if you're still friends with him on Facebook.
I technically am. I never get on Facebook, but I have seen his progression over the years.
He's not. He doesn't do anything near what he does.
Well, his heart kind of almost stopped multiple times because he just wouldn't stop drinking.
Yeah. But he was actually a pretty chill guy.
He was genuinely a nice person.
But just like anyone else who comes into an Applebee's, you never leave the same, and he never did. And
yes,
remember that picture that we took when we went to we were out drinking. We started at Applebee's. No, we ended at Applebee's.
Dude, okay. Well, there's a couple times that happened. So I'm like, give me more specifics. Is Riley the demons in your apartment?
I hear something outside, but I don't know.
Oh.
Well, this is the last place they want to rob because right here. That's the last place.
Well, do you need to go check on it? Because I can ramble for a second if you need me to. Okay.
No. If I hear someone break in, it's you're gonna.
Oh, we'll live stream the whole.
You're
thing.
Gonna witness something.
Yeah.
So that night when we went to Fry Street, and which there were a lot of those. We started drinking there. Then we got in your car, and then we drove. We met. No, actually, we walked across UNT's campus.
Now that you gave me that one little specific
we walked across UNT's campus. See, this is what Unscripted Company is all about.
That is where that night walking across campus. That is where I got my tuition's worth of an experience at that college.
Yeah. So this is Unscripted Company at its best because not only do we talk about stuff that's going on in the world, we get personal because this is what this podcast is about. And we walked all the way across UNT's campus. I think we had to kind of walk around certain buildings because there were campus police that were driving around. So it
was just late. It was like
it was
after 10 p.m. So like the campus was closed.
Yeah, but campus police can still drive around though, and they can still do their thing.
Yeah.
So we walked all the way to Rockin' Rodeo, and we met up with this guy Boston, and one of the bartender. And it wasn't just him; it was actually a couple other people that we knew that were there. Rockin' Rodeo was dead. Like there was nobody there, so we were getting free drinks.
I remember we did walk that whole way. Yeah,
we did. We got free drinks, and then I remember towards the very end, we were leaving, and I can't remember who it was. I think Boston still had a beer, and I was like, "Hurry up and finish your beer!" And I took it from him, and I started chugging it in the middle of the bar, I think, and I was like, "All right." And then we walked out to his vehicle, and we took a picture. This picture still exists because every single time he saw me after that, he would show me this picture and show other people this picture.
I don't remember the picture, if I'm being honest.
It was like me and you were standing right next to each other behind him, and he had his door open, and he took the picture like it was a selfie picture that he took of us.
That vaguely sounds familiar now.
And then if I was to message him, I'd be like, "Hey, can you send me that picture?" And he would.
He'd be like, "Dude, it's my phone's wall screen.
Yeah,
wallpaper."
And so then we went to Applebee's after that, and we ended the night there. They should not have even have served us.
Yeah.
They should have been like,
Yeah.
here's water, here's some food, this is what you're getting, and you're not getting anything else. But Nate was the bartender
Yeah.
and Shane was the manager. And here's the thing, whether or not we shouldn't have gotten served or not, we got home safe. It was fine. We made it home okay. It was perfectly fine. I can't remember how I even got home that night because you didn't take me home. How did I get home that night?
I'll tell you at the end of that story when we're not on a live stream because I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I do remember how we got home that night. Okay. We could still talk about it because I do remember. I need the details, but I do remember how we got home that night. And so you ordered Fireball and I ordered Rumple Mints, and that was the worst decision I could have made. But Rumple Mints I don't know what it was. It had a hold on me. It had a grasp on me. I don't understand.
It did for whatever reason. But also, I could say the same thing. I thought Fireball was cool at the time.
And so we should not have even have gotten shots, but they gave us 2 shots apiece, 2 or 3 shots apiece, and they were paid for. We didn't have to pay for them. And I think I actually threw up in the bathroom, but I made it to the toilet. I didn't throw up everywhere, but I made it to the toilet. It's all good. Not like most people who don't. But then we just sat there for the rest of the time. We couldn't do anything else. Shane didn't even let us leave because I think Juan was working that night too, so he had to kind of help out with some stuff also.
Yeah.
And they didn't let us leave. They told us like, you're gonna because they were like, they didn't let us leave, man. We had to stay there. We could not go anywhere. And I was like, cool, love this. And that night was very, very, very. No, I wonder if that was the same night because we went back to Rockin' Rodeo and we walked back to Fry Street, met up with Jamie, didn't we?
No, maybe.
Was that
I might be mixing up stories. I'll be honest with you.
Probably. But anyways, so because there was one time where I know we were supposed to go to like this concert for Devin and it got canceled, so we came back and we just went to Fry Street.
Oh yeah, we drove all the way down to Deep Ellum.
Deep Ellum, and it got canceled, so we just came back and went to Fry Street. Needless to say, we had a lot of wild nights that I regret some of them. I'm not going to lie, but it happened. It is what it is. But yeah, Rockin' Rodeo no longer exists. Now they have dorms there. That's what they have there. So
University bought it. You know, it's kind of interesting to think about this week. We can dive into the Hulk Hogan chat here, but what does it mean if Ric Flair outlived Hulk Hogan? Because, you know, they were kind of yin and yang, right? So at least from a character standpoint, Hulk Hogan was all about drink your milk, take your vitamins, hit the gym, you know, I am a real American, yada, yada, yada. Checkered past. But regardless, like the whole character was, you know, take your vitamins, get your sleep, drink your milk, right? Meanwhile, Ric Flair kind of speaks for himself. To this day, this man will still get blackout drunk at a bar. Have you seen the stories about him? Like, it's kind of sad to read about.
Dude just survived. He just went into remission for cancer.
Yeah. But he outlived the Hulkster. So what does that mean about how you should live your lifestyle? You don't have to answer that. It was just I saw multiple Twitter accounts bring it up this week, and I was like, you know what?
It's actually, I mean, it's a good point, but here's the thing, and I'm going to come at this, you know, kind of from a spiritual level. It doesn't matter what you do in your life at all. Doesn't matter, like, I mean, unless you're just downright just doing the most drugs, also, and even then, some of those people. But like, it doesn't matter what you do in your life. Everyone has a time clock on their life. We all, I think, on average, we have 75 years on our life, which means you have 75 summers.
I think guys have way less than that, honestly.
I think guys are like in the 60s, like high 60s. But on average, the average human being has 75 years to their life.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's gone up. Yeah, the average man in the United States lives to 76.1 years. And then women go on average 81.1 years.
So you have on average 75 winters, 75 summers, 75 falls, and 75 springs. Doesn't matter what you do in that time. Everyone has a time clock. Everyone has that time when your time is up and your time is gone.
If you account for daylight savings, yes.
So it's a matter of what you do at that time here. And not everybody's perfect. Not everyone makes the right decisions in their lives, but you'd be surprised. Like, I know a lot of people who had drug addiction and they should not be alive right now, but they are. And so it's one of those things where take every moment you can to live the best you can, but you have all these health people, these fitness people that say, if you do this, everyone's different. You can eat the right way. You can exercise the right way, not have any alcohol, smoking, none of that kind of stuff. And you could still die at like 50 years old. And then you could have someone who's done the hardest of hard drugs and they live till they're 75, a lot of people in my family have lived, on my dad's side, have lived into their 70s and 80s, and they were chronic smokers. And they lived. Granted, they had oxygen tanks and stuff like that, but they still lived. Like they still made it there. But yeah. So it doesn't matter what kind of routine you stick to. Like for me personally, yeah, I go to the gym. I eat healthy. Does that mean I'm going to live till I'm 75 years old? Who knows? I could. Like I could get, hopefully it doesn't happen, but I could get in my car sometime this week and just something happens. And, there are things that I still want to do. There are things I still want to say to people, but it is what it is. It's just, you have to just take every day and just live every day like it could possibly be your last day. And so, but that just goes to show you. And I will say Hulk Hogan did use steroids. He was on steroids from the 1980s and 1990s.
Yeah, he's honestly the guy, I don't know if you know this, he kept Vince McMahon out of federal prison by allegedly lying under oath.
I didn't know that.
If you look into the WWF steroid trial, Vince McMahon was on trial for, yeah.
But it's like, I mean, here's the thing. Almost every single wrestler from like the 1980s through the early 2000s, you could just here's the thing.
But think of it like speeding, right? I like to use this as an analogy, Liz.
Okay.
Everyone speeds on the highway, right?
Uh-huh.
Some people get caught.
Uh-huh.
You might not get caught. You might never get caught. But
I'll be honest.
Everyone speeds.
This is why I appreciate people like John Cena and Randy Orton, because they've never used steroids.
I find that so hard to believe sometimes. Especially on Cena. I'll maybe believe Randy a little bit.
Well, you can see
Cena, dude, homeboy's been jacked.
Yeah, but you can you see photos of him just going throughout his early years and football and all this other kind of stuff, growing up and powerlifting and everything. Like, now, here's the thing: when Randy Orton came back, like after he had that double back, was it the spinal fusion surgery, the double fusion? Yeah. If you do a before and after picture, and the dude came back, dude was freaking yoked, man. Like he was like, I was like, that's goals. Like if I would, that would be awesome. But dude just is freaking jacked, man.
Yeah. That is veiny, I guess would be a good word to use to describe that.
Yeah, because like, I mean, you can even just see some of these other pictures like of him in his younger days. I mean,
yeah.
But it's like when you compare him, like, I'll be honest, Triple H, 100% on steroids.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Because you could tell, like, he would let himself go, and then when he had a big wrestling match, he would come back in and he'd be, like, all jacked and everything. 100% he's on steroids.
Oh, yeah. No question. No question.
Then you had other people, too, but, like, I'll be honest, Batista, I don't know if he ever used steroids.
For sure.
But he's slim. Like, he's slimmed down a lot. Like, he's not as big. Like, he actually toned down a lot. If you've seen any of his recent pictures, because he doesn't wrestle anymore and he's trying to take on more conservative roles in acting. And so he doesn't need to be big or anything like that. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty crazy that Ric Flair is, no offense, still outliving a lot of these other WWE legends. And I'm like, what's your secret? But I don't even think he even knows what his secret is. But yeah, only time will tell. So, I'm not going to touch on any of the big things right now, but I want to kind of go into some like Texas and world stuff right now, like weather stuff, world stuff, all this other kind of stuff. So some of this was from weeks ago. I just never got a chance to really show it. But apparently there was a massive underwater volcano. This is July 14th.
Say what?
It was located 1 mile beneath the ocean surface, about 300 miles off the Oregon coast. The swelling with magma and producing hundreds of small earthquakes every day. It's only a matter of time before it erupts, possibly later this year or in early 2026. So this is where it's at.
Wait, so this was
This was just 2 weeks ago.
wait, so it's a volcano,
It's an underwater volcano.
and they just found it. It's an active volcano.
Yeah, the size of a city is just chilling right here. And there's Oregon, there's Washington.
Huh.
And so if that erupts, that could cause earthquakes, other various things happening.
That'd be
with the ship.
tsunami worthy, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, yeah. It says, and here's where it gets interesting.
Oh wait, so it did do something in 2015.
Yes. So it says all three of Axial's past eruptions, 1998, 2011, 2015, happened when Earth was moving away from the sun, suggesting the moon's gravitational pull and ocean tides might help trigger eruptions.
God, the moon, man, gravity in the moon. Let me just shout out to the moon, man. The moon does a lot. We don't give it enough credit. It's also terrifying at the same time.
Right. Now, it did say the next eruption may be mild. But then again, though, if it erupts...
Well, what's mild? Is mild meaning just like a mild tsunami?
Who knows?
Yeah.
The other thing, let me see here. So we've talked about this before, but apparently as of July 5th, they've kind of actually fully discovered it, I guess, but reaches the primordial path, or is that primordial past into our planetary future. Scientists have revealed a vast and ancient landscape locked beneath nearly 2 kilometers of East Antarctic ice, a terrain that hasn't seen sunlight in over 34 million years.
It's time.
So,
why can't we go there? Why do we have to ask for permission? Why are there international peace treaties from almost every single country there?
That is a very, very good question. We got to be careful asking questions like that. So yeah, it's just kind of like they haven't shown any. Obviously, this is an AI generated image, but I'm pretty sure there are images out there that would do more justice. But it just depends. Here's the thing: we probably can't go there because it would take too long to actually get down there. And I'll be honest with you,
it's not too bad. You go down to Argentina and then you kind of.
Well, I mean, like to dig into it as well, because it depends on how it's set up. You know, like what if you dig and dig and dig?
Riley, you telling me we've been to the moon, but we can't dig in Antarctica?
Maybe they're afraid of what's down there. Have you seen the thing?
Dude, let me tell you, I have spent, not anytime too recently, but I've read stories on 4chan, on some of the groups on there. There are some dark theories, if not realities, because the beautiful thing about 4chan, right? It's relatively truly anonymous. Especially you can keep yourself anonymous. And some people claim to be whistleblowers, or they're just very good fiction writers, which could be the case as well. Some people claim quite literally what we conceive of as the Antichrist is down there. Maybe not the Antichrist in the same sense of what you read in our Judeo-Christian texts, but something that is got to stay away. So it's under control now. Maybe we don't exactly know, but it's there.
Would you safely assume that hell is down there?
I don't know, but it is an interesting theory. Also, if you think of Antarctica,
right?
Obviously, before the ice covered it, as the Garden of Eden, right? It's the place that humans all came from potentially, and then obviously as the Earth rotates a bit, climates change. Ice ages happen. Ice remains in places because of the Earth's tilt.
Mm-hmm.
And what's frozen today won't be frozen tomorrow, but then you'll have new things that freeze as well. So it's this thing shifts over millions of years. It's not hundreds of thousands of years.
I just want to know I truly honestly just want to know what is there.
Have you heard the theory about, I'll bring this up because Daddy Stream put it here in the chat, but the Anunnaki. Have you heard the theory about how humans were basically manufactured to be like slaves or like service workers? Have you heard this?
I mean, it kind of makes sense considering how certain groups of people were slaves in the early days.
Yeah. So what if we were basically the same way you think of as like lab rats, lab mice, right? What if we were in this like concealed garden, right? And it's like, hey, we created you. You can do everything you want, but just like don't do this one thing, right? Don't do this one thing to learn more about what else is out there. And then one day someone says, hey, I'm going to do this thing they told me not to do. And they say, well, you screwed up this experiment. We'll just leave the planet. And then we start to kind of scatter over the surface.
Well, I mean, that's the story of Adam and Eve, technically.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's where it gets very tricky with like, because here's the thing, man created religion. So it's like where you have all these religions that talk about whatever they worship, whatever it is. Religion is what ruined a lot of, what people, believe in God and stuff like that. Religion is what ruined that. If religion wasn't created because it was a man-made thing, we wouldn't have a lot of the discussions that we have now. We probably not.
What do you mean by religion? Do you mean rules and bylaws of a shared group?
Yeah. So like, okay, so you have Christianity, okay, but then you have all these different
like denominations,
Catholic, Pentecostal, Baptist, like you have all the different denominations, but not even just that. You have in other demographics where they worship certain gods that are like the god of the sun, the god of the moon. Well, here's the thing. You're worshiping a god of something that our God actually created, because our God created the heavens and the earth and all the stars and everything like that, which included the sun, the moon, and everything. So you're worshiping a creation of something that the original creator actually created. So it's like when you're talking about that theory about like, what if we were created by a being and we were told not to do this one thing, but then they did that one thing, and then they were like, well, you're going to be doing all this stuff, and I'm just going to scatter you out. Well, they did multiply. They multiplied, they scattered, they did all these different things, and then eventually people were wiped out. Now, I liked what Daddy Streaming said. He said, what if the Garden of Eden was really under the ice? Now, I don't know obviously back in that time, if when the earth was formed, if it was formed, because you have evolution, where it's like you had Pangea and then it split apart, and then you have the continents, and eventually that's going to come back together because of just how the continents are actually shifting and moving. But then you have the Bible version where it's like God created the heavens and the earth. So did he create the earth exactly how the earth is actually set up now, with all the continents set up the way they are? Because if he didn't and they eventually shifted, then that could very well be. That's why no one's able to find the garden. But then again, scripture kind of debunks that. It just really depends on how you look at it. But I like what he said, though. So,
but also, humans made boats, right? Boats can get you off an island. If at the time, the landmass was isolated somewhat, right? I mean, the way I think about it is, I guess look at the Polynesians, right? They scattered all across the Pacific. You have weird anomalies where some of the Native American tribes share ancient ritualistic aspects that can be found in other cultures as well. And you have to question, like, why is that? You have that weird you have that phenomena of the pyramid structure, right? How come pyramids are found on all the continents, basically? Right. If that was, a unique idea to one people, or was it something that's had a central source, then spread out? You have these weird anomalies over time.
Yeah.
But I digress.
So this one, apparently there's been a bunch of small earthquakes, 20 earthquakes of a 5.0 magnitude or higher. This was as of July 3rd. And this was all around Japan.
Yep.
So off the coast of Japan.
The Ring of Fire.
Yeah. So it says they're getting larger and at shallower depths. Again, there's not a lot of detail on this, but this is just kind of where everything's at. So
it's probably, because Japan's right there. They're on that Ring of Fire. Yeah. So I don't want to say it's normal. It could be.
Well, I do have one more thing, but we can do that after if you have anything you want to touch base on.
No, yeah. I'll have you jump into that. But first, just a quick break. seen the news this week? Have you donated to help paying off the national debt?
No.
Have you seen the news about how you can now use PayPal and Venmo with the U.S. Department of the Treasury to do your part and pay off little portions of the national debt?
No. I saw it. Like I briefly saw it. Here's my fear. At what point does it become mandatory?
It kind of already is, right? You pay taxes.
But those taxes aren't doing anything to dwindle that down. If you
you still have the problem of we're still spending more than what we're getting.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Like, because how many Americans do we have? We have
370 million.
Yeah, 300. It's up there. It's like 350 million Americans.
340 million according to 2024 estimates.
Yeah. So if that's only like, okay, let's say that's children, that's, teenage, like every age gap that you could think of. Only half of those, if maybe 60% of those are actually working, 60 to 70% of those are actually working class people that are paying taxes. That's not a lot of money compared to our.
Oh no, it's not. Yeah, that's why we're in debt, because we spend more than what we make currently. But who's going to stop that?
So it's
you can by donating $5 on Venmo to the U.S. Department of Treasury.
So, yeah, I'm not donating to that.
Just saying.
I already pay my I pay my taxes on my paycheck and my commissions and everything, and then I go pay taxes for everything that I buy and all the services that I get done. And then if you're a homeowner, you pay more taxes on the land that you buy, on the home that you buy, that you own. Yeah. So I'm good.
And in some states, the state taxes your income as well.
Yep.
So,
Yep. So.
What else you got, though?
So this one's actually just kind of like a little fun thing. Have you seen... We're going to do some Texas fun facts.
Oh.
I found this on Facebook. I find little things like this from time to time. So this is like some regional based stuff.
Yeah.
This person didn't create this. He copy and pasted it. So it's just interesting facts about Texas. So you have Beaumont, which is all the way over here, all the way to El Paso. It's 742 miles.
Yep.
But from Beaumont all the way up to Chicago, 770 miles. This is crazy right here because it says El Paso is closer to California than to Dallas.
Yep.
That blows my mind, honestly. The world's first rodeo was in Pecos, July 4th, 1883, which is, I don't think they have it listed on here, but it's somewhere here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's West Texas.
Yeah. The flagship hotel in Galveston is the only hotel in North America built over water, destroyed by Hurricane Ike in 2008. The Heisman Trophy was named after John William Heisman, who was the first full-time coach at Rice University in Houston. Brazoria County has more species of birds than any other area in North America. That's crazy, because I didn't know that. Arkansas Wildlife Refuge is the winter home of North America's only remaining flock of whooping cranes.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Jalapeno jelly originated in Lake Jackson in 1978. The worst natural disaster in U.S. history was in 1900 caused by a hurricane in which over 8,000 lives were lost on Galveston Island.
Yep.
The first word spoken from the moon, July 20th, 1969, was Houston. But
allegedly.
Allegedly. I was actually about to say that, allegedly. But the Space Center was actually in Clear Lake City at the time. King Ranch in South Texas is larger than Rhode Island.
Yeah, King Ranch, like for those who've never actually looked at a map to show how large King Ranch is, it's absolutely bananas to see the size of it from a landmass.
Yep. Tropical Storm Claudette brought U.S. rainfall record of 43 inches in 24 hours in and around Alvin, in July of 1979. Texas is the only state to enter the U.S. by treaty, known as the Constitution of 1845 by the Republic of Texas, to enter the Union instead of by annexation. This allows the Texas flag to fly at the same height as the U.S. flag and may divide into 5 states.
This is an interesting one that I like to think about, and I'm sure there's a legal scholar out there that can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but people always like to tout that. They say like, well, yeah, we can do the same height. Yeah, we can split into 5 states, whatever. But what happens whenever you then secede from the Union during the Civil War? You join the Confederacy, and then you lose, and then you get reabsorbed back into the Union. Is all of that null and void at that point because you've since left, lost, and then got reabsorbed?
Well, only. I mean, we'd have to test this theory out, but I don't think Texas is willing to. I mean, again, we've had conversations about that before.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Texas is going to do it, but
I don't think there's a reason to. It's yeah. I feel like if Texas were to become its own country, which I know we've talked about, like you already have this system of counties, and counties can basically act as the same way they do now. They're like, micro governments. And so the state would become the federal, and then you'd have counties become what the state does now, and you just trickle down.
A live oak tree near Fulton is estimated to be 1,500 years old.
Yep.
Caddo Lake is the only natural lake in the state, which is
every other lake's man-made.
Yeah, and
it's a dammed up river, or it's just a hole that we dug.
Yeah, and that's insane because Lake Louisville is pretty good size.
Yeah, and there's some lakes too. Canyon Lake, which is south of Austin, is like west of San Marcos. When the drought got really bad, you could see the small town that used to be there before the lake got built.
Yeah,
it's all under the water.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper was invented in Waco in 1885. There is no period in Dr. Pepper. Houston has had 6 capital cities: Washington on the Brazos, Harrisburg, Galveston, Velasco, West Columbia, and Austin. The Capitol Dome in Austin is the only dome in the U.S. which is taller than the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. by 7 feet. Everything's bigger in Texas, y'all. The San Jacinto Monument is the tallest freestanding monument in the world, and it is taller than the Washington Monument.
Hang on. The San Jacinto Monument is the tallest freestanding monument in the world. Why do I feel like that's not correct?
He did say, let's see here, hold on.
I don't think that's correct.
Monument.
There are some big statues out there. But also, I don't know what freestanding means in this definition.
Compared to other monuments. Let's see.
Because I'm thinking,
I was going to say, actually, if you want to look that up while I continue to see if you can find some stuff out on that, you might know something specific to look at.
Yeah, if you want, look at the Statue of Unity in India.
That is pretty tall.
Yeah.
Hold on, we'll look in just a second. Let me finish this up and we can look. The name Texas comes from the Hassini Indian word Tejas, meaning friends. Tejas is not Spanish for Texas. So I didn't know that. The state mascot is the armadillo. An interesting bit of trivia about the armadillo is they always have 4 babies. They have 1 egg, which splits into 4, and they either have 4 males or 4 females. That's interesting. Didn't know that. The first dome stadium in the U.S. was the Astrodome in Houston. So that is your interesting Texas facts.
Yep. I am looking at a list of tallest monuments in the U.S. The San Jacinto Monument is the second tallest in the U.S., but the only thing that beats it is the Gateway Arch in St. Louis. And technically, I guess you could say that's not freestanding because it has 2 parts that do touch the ground, I guess, whereas the San Jacinto Monument is like a singular tower with a base to it.
Yeah.
For context, the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C. is 555 feet, where the San Jacinto Monument is 567 feet. But then you have the Statue of Unity in India, which is baffling tall. And here, I will throw this up on the screen just for context here. Just to get a size.
That's insane.
Yeah, so the Statue of Liberty is 93 meters tall. And the Statue of Unity in India is 182 meters tall.
That is insane. How do they build this stuff, man?
Makes you wonder.
It does make you wonder.
Look at this. It's tall. It's big.
Like that is, oh my gosh.
Yeah. There's some of these like monuments out there that as Americans we never get taught about because it makes us not look as dominant in some standards. Like there's one in Russia. There's a Kazakhstan. Tall statue, Russia. Yeah, this one. Boom. What's this called? Motherland Calls. Look at this. Look at this thing. This giant statue. Isn't that not kind of dope?
Like, so like this is the stuff like going to other countries that I would want to go see.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's terrifying.
I know I misspelled. Oh, I got it wrong. And then you have like there was one. Kazakhstan is such an interesting place.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. Have you ever seen this downtown in your life? Kind of cool, though.
How tall is Jesus the Redeemer?
That's a great question because the statue itself, yes, it's large, but like it's also on a mountaintop, so that gives it some height just naturally.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can find like the actual number on here. I'm seeing images, but I'm not seeing the numbers.
Which
I guess they're showing meters. 40 meters tall, if that's accurate.
Yeah, 98 feet.
Yeah.
Excluding the 26-foot pedestal. It's shorter than the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
About half the size, half the height of the Statue of Liberty.
I mean, I'm gonna say like there's some interesting statues and architecture that some of these countries have done that is just baffling to me how they've done it. It really is. So, but I mean, I have a couple other things, but I mean, a lot of it's just, basic stuff.
Yeah.
Meteor shower happening. Also, too, found out. Did you know that ChatGPT, the creator or the CEO of ChatGPT, came out and said that when it comes to lawsuits, they can pull your ChatGPT history. And
yeah. It's the same way they could pull your phone record.
Yeah.
And,
I guess people didn't know that, so he felt the need to come out and say that.
Yeah.
So
it's all logged. Even if you go in there and delete the memory and delete the chat logs, it's all still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can pull your internet search history. They can pull your chat GPT logs. They can pull your phone records. There's no secrets anymore.
No, there's not.
We live in a surveillance state, even if we're not aware of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I saw that you had a couple other things, but I mean, it's up to you if you want to.
Oh, it's nothing too crazy. I can hit them just really fast. I did see, I saw this today, that the University of Texas at Arlington is actually testing out in a collaboration with TxDOT, the Texas Department of Transportation. They're the ones that build the roads and maintain it in the state of Texas. The University of Texas at Arlington has this new asphalt that they've created that is plastic infused. And so they're starting to actually test this in some of the streets in Rockwall. I guess specifically if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, if you're familiar with State Highway 205 in Rockwall, there's about a mile-long stretch of that they're testing out this new plastic-infused asphalt. Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool that I guess we're able to do this. I don't know. They're testing it out to see the longevity of it, right? Does it perform better than traditional asphalt? What does that mean in extreme heat, extreme cold? Is it more prone to cracking, less prone to cracking? But also in the back of my mind, I just can't keep thinking we're adding more plastic to the world around us. And I can't help but wonder, like, we're going to wake up in 50 years and be like, plastic was a terrible idea. The same way that we look back on like the tobacco industry, some of the negative practices with cigarettes in particular.
Yeah.
At the time they were prescribed all over the place. Doctors had their official brands of cigarettes and all this fun stuff. And I can't help but wonder if we're going to look back on plastic the same way. Like, the same way we look at like Marlboro, or are we going to be looking at Tupperware the same way?
Well,
I
here's
don't
the
know.
thing. If plastic is utilized the correct way, which I don't know what the correct way would be because I'm not
I
an
don't think we've
engineer.
had it long enough to know what that correct way is.
No. And I'm not an engineer, so I'm not going to pretend to know. But I will say this. Use all the materials that are trash based, because people don't like. Here's the thing. I actually found this out. So when it comes to plastic bottles, like you could take stuff to like Walmart and stick it in the recycling thing. Only a specific percentage of that stuff actually gets recycled.
Oh yeah, most of it still hits the landfill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like if they legitimately started recycling this plastic and started reusing it the way that it should be reused, and using it to do certain things with for our ecosystem overall, there could be, I'm not saying it would solve everything, because it wouldn't. There's still other issues that can't be solved with, but it would take care of a lot of different aspects of our ecosystem that would be beneficial for everyone, honestly. That's just my opinion. I think that I think with all of that, because like I know Walmart has this whole thing where it's like you recycle the plastic and they actually use it to make their vests or whatever that they wear, or like the blue vest that you see where a lot of the employees wear. If that's true, like that's awesome. Like you're making employee wear with the recycled plastic.
I guess what I'm saying though is that's still the problem, right? So polyester is what typically like clothing has been made out of more recently, but like polyester is just plastic, right? And like, have you ever gone down the rabbit hole on microplastics and just?
I think we haven't gone down the rabbit hole, but we've briefly talked about it.
I don't know if I can't remember if I brought this up on a podcast. Like this would have been about a year ago, but like there's some studies where it's like 100% of all men have microplastics in their balls.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Of like everyone that was in this like test, like they all had it.
Yeah.
And then you start to wonder about like there's other attributing factors to this for sure, but then you start to wonder about like fertility rates and birth defects. And
it's a good thing I ain't trying to have kids.
But
I get it. Like for people who want to have kids, like it's definitely a concern, but like what are we gonna do?
Like do you ever use those magic erasers?
Yeah.
The little scrubs, right? You know what that is? It's plastic. So there's little fine particles that break down that you can't even see.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I don't ever use them to like clean dishes. I literally only use those to clean like kitchen stuff, bathroom stuff.
But like have you ever worn a polyester shirt? Have you ever worn polyester?
Not in a long time, but yeah.
No, you definitely have some polyester.
Well, it's not like 100% polyester, but like most of my stuff.
No, but it's any polyester.
Yeah.
Right? That it'll leach into your skin.
No, dude, I wear only Egyptian cotton. I'm sorry, no, I'm kidding.
There are some people. There is a big movement going on where people like they only buy cotton clothes because that's like a legitimate concern.
Here's the thing, though. It's like, what are we gonna do? Like this is made from polyester. The shirt that I have on under this is part.
Is this polyester? I thought this might have been cotton, but it might be. I don't know.
But it's like, what are we gonna do? Like there's nothing we can do. Like I'll be honest, I've actually transitioned from because I used to meal prep in plastic bowls just because they were cheaper.
Yeah.
I stopped doing that. I still have some plastic bowls, like if we need them for just like Tupperware stuff, but it's like everything, we have glass bowls for everything. Yeah. It's like I put everything into a glass bowl. And so it's like all my meal prepping stuff, glass bowl. Yeah. Everything that I do is a glass bowl, because if you store stuff in a plastic bowl and then you heat it up in the microwave, you're actually nuking that plastic onto your food and you're eating that.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So I try to store everything in glass if I can get away with it. But yeah, there's honestly nothing we can do to get away from it. And it's just, kind of what we talked about I think it was last week with like the oil and gas industry. There's no suitable replacement for oil and gas. And plastics are made from oil and gas and the plants that they make everything from. So it's like, what are we gonna? I mean, you can start recycling the plastics back down to whatever and using that for fuel, but who knows, So, but
yeah,
all this other stuff I can always talk about next week. A lot of it's just S&P 500 stuff. There's a meteor shower that's happening soon, so just different things like that. So,
Daddy Streaming has a good point to make. Is it really 100% glass that you're using?
No.
Or is it some glass-based plastic?
Who knows? I don't know. At the end of the day, we're all gonna die at some point. Like I said, everyone has a timer, like everyone has a timer. So it's like, is it gonna be the microplastics that are gonna take me out? Or is it gonna be a car accident that's gonna take me out? Or is it gonna be the AI that's gonna take us all out? What's gonna take us out? Nobody knows.
Or I think what will take you out will be a car with plastic bumpers driving on a plastic highway because you were distracted talking to your AI agent wearing plastic clothes with a plastic airbag.
Interesting. Well, if I haven't told everyone
Plastic in your
yet,
balls.
if I haven't told everybody yet, I love you all. Don't know when this is going to happen, so stay tuned. If I'm not here next week, you know what happened. The microplastics killed me. And I love you all, So
And with that, I think episode 78 of the Unscripted podcast is in the books. Thanks again to our sponsor for this week's question of the week, Applebee's, eating good in the neighborhood. Hit them up late night. Tell them Riley and JK from the Unscripted Company podcast sent you, and they will hook you up with some of their half price appetizers. Riley, I'll give you the last words. Whatever you want to say, you get the last words.
last words, huh? Well, they very well could be my last words, because if I go to bed tonight and I don't wake up tomorrow, they may be my last words. No, I mean, overall, tonight was a very much so unscripted episode. We dived into a very, very brief history of our drunken escapades in our early years. We dived into microplastics. We dived into wrestlers and their lifestyles and just our lifestyles. I'll be honest, I don't really have any encouraging words because there wasn't really anything that we talked about that could be encouraged in any way.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yeah, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Exactly. Don't give money to the federal government to pay off their debt and their mistakes, because that's not our responsibility. We already pay them enough money as it is. And with that, we love you all, and we will see you guys in the next one.